So I'd like to speak a little bit about aggressions, because there is many kinds of emotions that are considered as negative, like anger, guilt, shame, rage, hatred. And in that realm, also aggression is included. And I was reflecting for a while now, how can I bring this topic in a digestible way? Because, of course, this is not to encourage you to go out and be very aggressive and stab your neighbor and hit your ex-girlfriend, or, it's not about that. It's not about going out with your raw lion energy emotion, but it's also not to bypass these emotions because they're part of this human experience. And a lot in a bit the spiritual circles, you always get the feeling that, yeah, we all love each other and we hug, and, there's no of these dark, bad, negative feelings, but they are somewhere. And of course, if we repress them, that has already said Jung and Freud, the psychoanalytics in 19th, beginning of 19th, 20th century, 1900. If we suppress them, then they will find their way to come up, disturb us through symptoms, through the blind spots, through reactions that are strange to us. We have no consciousness over them. Yeah, so somehow it's a really, in my view, a big topic, how to deal with aggression. And aggression as the word, as the word, not as the word. Etymologically, it comes from the Latin aggredi, which means to go towards something. So not to back off, but to go to approach something. So we could say, in an aggredi sense of aggression, it's a good thing because you have the courage to go to something or to somebody and say, hey, there is something here, there's some friction or some conflict. So in that sense, nothing wrong with aggression. But somehow we have pushed aggression and also this kind of anger, we have pushed that so far away that it's almost not allowed anymore. Even in Switzerland or in these Central European countries, sometimes it almost seems like we are not allowed to get loud. You have somebody screams at the child, everybody turns around and, whoa, what's happening here, right? But if you go to Italy or Spain, you hear much more noise and people get loud and energetical. So not that one or the other is better, but speaking about energetical, we have to understand that all emotions are just a form of energy. In that sense, there is no positive or negative emotions. It's just energy moving through us in different ways. Happiness, joy is energy moving in a certain sense, and anger and aggression, sadness, anxiety is energy moving in a different way. And if we don't judge them, we could come to a more inclusiveness of all the emotions and not suppress them so they come through us through symptoms or through hidden corners when we're not aware. But they're just here in front of us, and we can welcome them and say, okay, if anger comes, welcome anger. If sadness comes, welcome sadness. And by meeting the emotions as they are, often we can experience that they will leave us soon again, or they change into another emotion. But they're here in our awareness. And what good is in the sense of aggression? Right? I mean, I was a snowboard competitor a long time ago on an international level. So I could never have done this and made podiums and all that if I didn't have a good sense of aggression. You know, I wanted to do that, and I had to want to beat the others in the moment of the competition. Of course, afterwards, we had a nice snowboard session in that area. I was competing, and then we had a nice party afterwards, and we were all together. But in the moment, this aggression was needed as energy, as a wanting to come up and manifest something. Like in that time, it was to wanting to be the best. Of course, I can smile a little bit at it now, but at the moment, it was important. So I just want to explain in that aggression really is a manifesting force. And if we really squeeze that away, we don't have the energy to really transform. So I have a group going on right now, and there's all women in that group. And in the last meeting, there was a lot of women saying, I'm coming in my true anger, in my good anger. And I realized that I've always wanting to be the nice girl, always said yes to everything. And now as a different forces coming up. So I just want to, put that in a little bit. That how to be with how to flirt with aggression a little bit, and how to allow it also to come out. Maybe you'll bark one day. So what? Just kind of let it come out, and then see and navigate how that can be. And coming back to this original word, etymologically, agredi means to approach something, to make contact. And in that way, I see it also really as an important emotion or important way to really make contact. And maybe we can develop a new world where we can dare a little bit more to speak the truth to each other. You know, to speak out when we don't like something. Or even we can make a well-meant criticism or irritation, and really develop a world where both, and if you have somebody next to you, both can be okay with that. To speak out what stands in the way of going deeper. And yes, this needs your vehicle to be large, to be able to be with things that you don't like to hear. But even if you don't hear them, they're in the air, they're in the field, in the energy field anyways. All these people that think a lot of things about other people. If you hear people talk, most topics that they talk of is of other people, on his and have you know her, and so why not speak it out? Then you know what's up. Yeah. And this is also, you know, some kind of yeah, a good sense of aggression is needed, because to go there, to dare to go there, to have the courage to go there and speak it out. And yes, myself on this path, I have had encounters where I thought, whoop, I went a bit too far, or whoop, I don't know if this relationship can deal with that. But a lot of times also, I've experienced that much more closeness afterwards, a deepening of the love, a deepening of the respect, because here comes somebody that has the courage to make this gift of friendship, to be honest with the other person. That can be a huge gift. And rare are the beings who are giving you that gift. But maybe you will be one of them. And in my view, the new world, if we can develop the new world like this, would be inclusive of that. Would be inclusive of a good sense of aggression, to have the energy, because it's also an energy that builds up the energy, to have the energy to go to a person, family member, friend, partner, and say, hey, this is my truth. I don't like that, or I would rather, or, can we speak about this? Rather than bad rap about them when they're not in your side. So this is all part of a truthful life. To not push all that away, but to allow it, and then just refine the kind of language and the way we do that. I'm still refining, but I'm daring to go there and to really live a sane kind of aggression as a way of bringing the energy up, being alert, being present, and encounter another person here in this contact. And then staying open and see where it can develop from there. So as I'm saying this, I just want to say I'm also still learning in that field, because maybe at my competitor times, I was a bit over the top with the aggression, but it gave me great success in that way. And then I took it all back. I felt like, no, I don't want to be like that anymore. And I took all this kind of aggression back and also pushed it away and thought, no, this is not me. I'm just nice and meditative. But now it's coming together, where I feel, yes, I'm both, or I'm all of it. And yet I'm beyond all of it. So I think I'll leave it here, see how that digests with you. And I hope that you allow next time that this kind of impulse comes of, yeah, I would like to say something, but I don't dare, that you dare. And that you remember of this video or speech, and you say, hey, I'm just gonna dare on this border of my research of getting more free. Why not daring to do and to speak out something that you haven't dared so far? Thank you for listening.